Keith, how are you today?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. First of all, I remember the original film, and I remember, David Keith and Heather
Mm.
Locklear, George C. Scott. What was your relationship with the original film?
Yeah, I believe I'd read the book first
Okay.
before seeing the film. I probably saw the film on HBO, is where I think I saw it. I'd
Probably.
go to my grandma's house and she had HBO, so I would watch, my brother and I would watch whatever we could horror wise see there. I think that's how I saw the original. And I had liked it at the time. I think it was right around the time when I was early teens where I was looking for stuff maybe with more teeth. So I was like, I had seen it and I was like, these effects are really amazing,
Hmm.
and I like kind of what it did. There was stuff that I was like, I wish it had this from the book, but it was one of those gateway kind of movies in a way for me, that it was one of the earlier horror film. I think I saw that and Alien and Predator or something, like all in the same sort of time period.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good triple
Yeah.
feature by that right there.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah. Now, so with the new film, how did you get involved, and what they? You're getting to make Firestarter. How does that
I know,
happen?
crazy. It was crazy. It was Blumhouse had seen my first film, and after it premiered, I went and met with them, and Jason and I talked for a bit about potential movies to make and ideas that I had, and this other stuff that he had. He disappeared for a little bit while I was talking to somebody else there, and then he kind of came back in the room and he was like, "I got it. You're going to remake Firestarter." And of course, I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." I kept my cool, and I said, "Okay, I'll have to read the script." Of course, I want to like, what is this? I read the script on the flight home. By the time I landed, I was like, "This is amazing. This is great. This is feels like a new Firestarter that doesn't dismiss the earlier version, and can live with it, at the same time, and then addresses some of the things that I'd wanted from the first one. So yeah, it was one of those things where we kind of got on the road to making it, and it wasn't until kind of we were further along that I was like, holy shit, like I'm making a Stephen King movie. This is this is crazy.
Not a
This is
bad game.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I noticed specifically is that you spend a little more time with the wife this time
Yeah.
around. Which I mean, Heather Locklear was what in it like maybe 5 minutes in the
Right.
original.
And all kind of flashbacks.
Yes, yes. What? So what was the? How did that come about, and how did that play into kind of the beginning with more on the parents and the child?
Yeah, it was there in Scott Teams's script, and it was something that he had developed for a while, but it was something that I really wanted to lean into. Um, we aged Charlie up a bit, and I wanted to, for me, a lot of it was about parenting and about how you parent a child, particularly a child with these abilities. And so the debate and the struggle of the parents became kind of a centerpiece. And so I needed her. We needed to be with her. We needed to see her, and we needed to. I also wanted it to be that when spoiler alert, when she dies, that we felt that it meant something because we'd spent time with her. It wasn't just something that had happened before the story began.
Yeah, yeah. That's now. Let's talk about this cast.
Yeah.
First of all, you've got Zac Efron. That's not
Right.
a bad catch. How did
Not a
you? How
bad
did he get
catch.
involved?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I had taken some meetings with actors, and Zach was one of them. And just from our first conversation, he had said that he had said the things that every director wants to hear, which is, I want to do something different. I want to go into a genre that I've never been in. I want to play a father because he's in his 30s now,
Yeah.
and he is it's not so much that doesn't want to be the teen idol anymore, but he's growing up, and so he's looking for to be taken seriously in more dramatic range.
Yeah.
He had seen my first film, and he really wanted to kind of go into a more a darker, more dramatic, more emotional place than he'd been in other films. And so just from that initial conversation, I thought, okay, he can do this. And if we're gonna make, beautiful Zac Efron, if we're gonna make his eyes bleed, then hell yeah. I mean, and Zac loved that. He loved that so much. He's like, more blood, like put more in. I want to see more drops.
that is a very creepy image. So I was gonna say that's not CG. That's you use drops and oh my god.
Yeah. It's drops and in his eyes, which he was all gung ho for.
It's disturbing. I love it. Well, let's get to the effects. I mean, you're dealing with fire. How and remember as good as they were back in the day.
Sure.
They don't hold up well. How did you guys approach creating the look for the fire?
Right. Yeah, for me, knowing the original film and knowing that those were all practical effects.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do as much practical as possible. So I would say more than 95% of the fire in this film is practical. Oh. The VFX fire that we use was shot as elements against a blue screen. So it was real fire just on a blue screen, then put in comped in post. Oh. So when Vicky's arms catch on fire, that's Sydney. Those are her arms on fire. Any fire with Zac, that's real. And the ending is a flamethrower, shoots 40 feet. Those guys are in silver suits. They've got oxygen on underneath. It got 1,000 degrees in that room, enough to burn people's masks off their faces. It was intense.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
god.
For me, it was like we needed that weight and that gravity. Now, of course, working with fire requires a lot of safety protocols, a lot of stunt people. And luckily it went off without a hitch. I mean, everything that needed to burn burned. We didn't lose any sets. No accidents. But it's just careful preparation.
So you made out better than Charlie did at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, right. Definitely.
Let's talk about Charlie. How do you find the right girl for this? I mean, that's a big role, especially for someone young like that.
And we had seen, I had talked to a lot of really, really impressive actors. And with Ryan, it was both kind of just the ease of her experience and comfort level in terms of performing. She's been doing it since she was like 5. And she was in, It Chapter 2, for example. She's in that. What I noticed with her was that she was able to she just had this incredible level of professionalism, showing up ready to go and just and really pushing it. But then there's also she was able to channel some real emotion that was very believable and very authentic, that it didn't even need dialogue. I could just see it in her face and just in her eyes that she was struggling, that there was this, she was able to slip into Charlie's skin and show us a sort of turbulent, tormented kid in a way that just blew me away, really, in auditions. It was just really impressive. I mean, she can also cry. She can just make herself cry like that, and it's like real tears. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. My friend of mine, Allie, worked with her, and she's like, oh my god, she's so excited to see her. Like, and it feels like for this performance, it's good. I think she's got a pretty good career ahead of her.
Yeah. I think good things are ahead for sure. I mean, and especially since she's so easy to work with.
What is next for you? I mean, this obviously stepping into Stephen King territory. Are there other Stephen King books that you'd like to tackle?
I mean, the next thing for me is definitely horror. That's my genre and that's my thing. And I don't, maybe dark thrillers or suspense, but I'm not going to turn around and make a musical or a comedy. This is my genre. There's tons of Stephen King stuff out there. There's already been so many movies and so much amazing stuff, really, that I'd be hard pressed to find one that, if I had my druthers, right, and I could do whatever I wanted, for whatever reason, Cycle of the Werewolf is one that I just love. Especially Bernie Wrightson's art, and just the way that the story itself, the book itself unfolds. That would be fun.
That would be great, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. Congratulations on the movie.
Yep, thanks so much.
Daddy.
What's going on, sweetie?
Something feels weird. Something's changing.
You remember the tools we taught you, right?
Pencil, desk, paper, shoes. You're weird.
Everything okay, Charlie?
It happened again.
What happened?
The bad thing.
If you ever start to lose control, what do you do?
It didn't work.
She's not a robot, Annie. She's a little girl with little girl emotions, which are wildly unpredictable.
Charlie?
She just has to shove it down and keep it hidden.
Our responsibility is getting her ready.
Our responsibility is to protect her.
Charlie?
If they catch her, they're gonna put her in a cage.
Charlie?
They're gonna run tests on her for the rest of her life. We'll never see her again.
If who catches me?
Something's happened. I need it handled with discretion. And I need her back alive.
Holy shit. Do you know what it means to be on the run?
Bad men are after us. Really bad.
I hate living like this!
You're special, Charlie.
I'm not special, I'm a monster! Charlie!
I want to help her.
You want to use her. Charlie? Don't be stupid.
Where's Mommy?
Do you feel that? Let her go or it's gonna get a lot worse.
Where's Mommy? Tell me now!
She's the first of her kind. A real life superhero.
You need to understand how to use it. It can't be a reaction. It's gotta be a decision. That's the only way that you can control it. She's becoming a young woman.
I'm not going to jail.
And someday soon, you're gonna change the world. She may be capable of a nuclear explosion. Run, Charlie! On your knees! Simply with the force of her mind. The whole world going to hell. Promise me that you'll never use your gifts to hurt people.
I'll only hurt bad people, I promise.
Trust me, Charlie. You don't have to be afraid. Please, I can help you.
Liar, liar. Pants on fire. I don't want to hurt anyone. But it feels kind of good.